Hello, welcome to my home. This is the first time I actually filmed in my home. Feels quite. This is working from home. You've no idea how long this is taken to set it set up. Like try 2 hours. Right, here's what I'm going to do. For the past, 5 or 6 weeks, I've been doing motivational talks on camera for primary pupils. And it seems to me that although that seemed like a good idea and it was with the best intention, the best thing that I can do right now is at least have a quick word with secondary pupils and in fact teenagers. I can just about remember being a teenager, if I'm perfectly honest. My life seems to be a little bit like a toilet roll. The moment I've got to the middle of it, it seems to be running out faster. So yeah, look forward to that. But right now, we're all locked down in our homes. And as you can see, this is not a bad place to be for me. But for you guys out there, and including me, we are left alone with our thoughts a lot. And what do we know? So the moment we switch the TV on, it's primarily bad news. It tells us how many more deaths there are, what the situation with COVID is going to be. Pretty much everything that we do is aimed towards having either vaccinations or something happened in China or something's happened in America, Donald Trump, and it goes on and on and on. The harmful thing that I need to tell you is this. When that happens, the fear goes into our brains. And as we don't know this, we just have it. We're a bit like a sponge, and every single second of every single minute of every single hour that passes, it goes in, and eventually it manifests itself physically. And you will relate to this actually, because what actually happens is sometimes in the middle of the night, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, you're lying in bed at night, overthinking, worrying, regretting things, and so on and so forth. So what can we do about that? Well, I'm going to give you some advice on, first of all, how we can stop the overthinking mind, or at least help it. And also, what do we have to look forward to? Now, I'm guessing if you were in the room with me right now, you would say a number of complaining things like, well, actually, I've just had my GCSEs cancelled, there aren't any jobs, the world's in doom and gloom, no one's got any money, people are losing their jobs and so on. The fact of the matter is, yes, that is happening, but what can we do about it? And what actually would be the point in complaining? Well, not a great deal. I've got here hundreds upon hundreds of little motivational tweaks and nudges into my side to make sure I stay on track, because I'm very, very well known for going off the subject. So let's start with this. I was in bed a few nights ago, in fact, lying there worrying about something that happened wrong with my car. And as I lay there, I took the problem to bed with me. And I'm lying there thinking, I don't know what we can do, I can't afford this thing that's gone wrong with the car. But the fact of the matter is, there's nothing I could have done about it at 3 o'clock in the morning, so there was actually no point in overthinking and trying to solve the problem. The reason that happens is, every single day that we get up, every single creature in this world gets up with the same purpose and the same thing to do: to survive, to find food, to find shelter and find water, and that's pretty much it. Now, how can I say this without upsetting you all? I've actually managed to abandon the pursuit of happiness. And it's probably one of the best things I've ever done. Because here's the harsh reality. And the harsh reality is, the universe hasn't necessarily got my back. The universe just is. And I am just being. I am me. Who is me? Well, this is where the problem comes in. Because we're not actually our thoughts. And I am not actually this physical body, because this physical body will, as you can see, get older and get more tired, and my thoughts will tell me this, that and the other. If I follow my thoughts round a particular way, I'll end up going in no particular direction at all. The most important thing right now is to make sure that we are aware that we're even having a thought. And if that thought is negative, then we can follow that thought. And the thoughts go like this: I'm never going to get a job after I leave school. My relationship's not good because the negative behaviour of other people are affecting my relationship with my friends or my loved ones. My family are at odds and ends with one another, they're rowing and arguing. Why is that, I wonder? Well, I'll tell you why. Fear. Fear gets into all of us and then manifests itself into many, many different forms. Let's just imagine there's an iceberg here and you could see the word fear over the top. Actually, what it is the fear is over the top and then all the other things underneath, i.e. COVID, lack of jobs, lack of sleep, lack of money, I'm fearful of losing this, I'm fearful of getting COVID, and all this kind of stuff goes on. And then that pinnacles to this overriding sense of insecurity and heartache and anger, and we take it out on the people around us. If that's not bad enough, what we actually do as well is we tell ourselves the wrong things. We are the sum total of everything that we've set out to be. So everything that I am is the sum total of my experiences. And that's pretty much it. My experiences are not going to end here, and COVID is not going to be the end of me, I hope. All I can do is stay safe and stay secure and continue to wash my hands. But let's start by doing this. I would say we need something to focus on. I would say we continue to need a goal and need to have a dream. But first of all, the most important thing in that is we need to have a dream in the first place. Now, a lot of people, especially around us, are continuing to be negative and so on. And what actually happens, that then affects our chemical makeup. So if we were in a room, for example, not that we can be in a room for too many people, or is it now? 2 or 3 people, they have to be in your bubble, all that kind of stuff going on. All these people are there and they're complaining, we're all watching the news, it's all doom and gloom, and we're wondering why we're having an argument with one another. We owe it to ourselves to have a fundamental right to just go on a little bit of a diet. A bit like we go on a diet with food, we need to go on an immediate diet and think, well, actually, how useful is this that's going into my brain, and how harmful is it? Look, it's dead simple. What if this isn't a grand reset? What if this isn't deliberately being done? What if this just is life and this is just how it is? You know, there's a little starfish that exists on the bottom of the ocean. This is a true story. And this little starfish, he scurries around on the bottom of the ocean. And he has a friend. Well, actually, he's a friend in the form of a little shrimp. And he comes along, this little shrimp, and he eats the starfish's legs. Pretty grim, right? So there he is. And at the moment the starfish is about to die, oh, and by the way, the starfish can actually grow some more legs. The moment he's about to die, the little shrimp goes and finds it some food and then feeds it so its legs grow back, so he can eat them all over again. Pretty grim existence for that starfish. So where is the fairness in that? Well, the fact is, there isn't any. Life is not only beautiful and all the joyous things that are given to us, it can also be horrific and unfair, and it can actually take anything and everything away from us at any given time. And once we realise that, things start to improve for us. Because I said earlier on, I've abandoned the pursuit of happiness, and this is because, what is the point? Because I'm going to be unhappy. I can't possibly go through this world being happy all the time. In order to be happy, I will have needed to be unhappy. In order to appreciate the beautiful things in life, I would have needed to have the bad things. It's bad things that make the good things better. Now, we can't go through life, and in actual fact, there's a lot of people who go through life, and I know quite a few of them, I'm not going to name names, who think that their life is a movie and it's all about them. Here's a picture of me in the kitchen, here's a picture of me at my friend's barbecue, here's a picture of me, here's a picture of the food that I'm eating here. And what we've become is a very self-indulgent society. And social media isn't helping, TikTok doesn't help, Instagram doesn't help. And we're constantly looking at our own lives and comparing them with others. This is completely pointless. As Oscar Wilde once said, what other people think of me is none of my business, and it's the same for you. So the best we can do is be the best version of ourselves now. And what is that? Well, the best version of ourselves isn't just physically training our bodies ready in the readiness for us to go and do something else when all this has passed, because this will pass, but it's also keeping our minds healthy. And what we can do is this: carry on doing work, carry on getting up in the morning with a smile on your face. Don't bring in yesterday's problems into today, because that's completely a waste of time. I think it was Mark Twain who once said, worrying is like paying a debt that you never really owe. And that's right. But I also read this brilliant thing the other day, and it said, he who suffers before it is necessary suffers longer and more than is necessary. Which means, let's face it, most of the things we worry about never actually happen. I went for a run this morning, and as I was running down the bank, I'm there on my little way, and there's a woman coming towards me. And she didn't see me. She was too busy looking at her phone. Well, I live in the countryside, and there was just me and this lady. As I got towards her, she jumped out of the way, as if I had some kind of black death, plague, leprosy, and I didn't really know what to do. She almost jumped actually in front of a car that was doing about 60 miles an hour. Thus is how fearful people are right now. And that has happened because that lady is scared. And does she need to be that scared? Well, maybe or maybe not. Look, secondary pupils, teenagers, you are alive. You are beautiful. And this world is more beautiful with you in it. But we can't sit around and waiting for this thing to go. We just got to keep on getting up and keep on moving forward. Let's not back off and wait and try to dodge things. Just keep moving forward and doing the best that we can do and not to worry about so much of what's going to happen in 10 years from now. I live more and more, especially as I'm getting older, in the present moment, or at least I try to. I don't always manage to do it, but I live in the present moment more and more because before this, I was always wanting to get to someplace else. And in doing that, I've missed the journey. It's a little bit like this. Back in the day, if I wanted to, let's say for example, I wanted to read Shakespeare's sonnets, right? I want to go read Shakespeare. And all of a sudden, I'm really, really into this guy Shakespeare. So do you know what I'd have to do back in the day? Well, here's what I would have had to do. I would have had to get to the bus stop, find the bus time, check out the timetable, make sure I'm not late, get on the bus, make the journey, get off, get in the library, find the floor that Shakespeare is on, not literally, his books, get them, find the particular book, find the shelf, find the book, find the chapter and find the page, and then eventually I would find Shakespeare's sonnets. These days, I just need to pick up my iPad, pick up my phone. I can not even move a muscle and just shout Shakespeare's sonnets. Isn't that great? Well, no, it's not. Because I've just missed out the journey. And my future wife was at the bus stop and I never met her because I was too busy looking at the screen. Now, as Muhammad Ali once said, if I'm going to have the same opinion at 50 as I had at 20, I've just wasted 30 years of my life. Now is not the time to waste any more of our time. Now is not the time to worry any more than we have to. Now is not the time to complain about the things that may not even happen, and certainly more than ever, now is not the time to beat ourselves up on the things that we are not. Let's be grateful for the things that we are. So, I've got a challenge for you, and this is a real challenge. Every single night you go to bed, I want you to put away your screens, put away your futile mobile phones and Xboxes and PlayStations and TikToks and Instagrams and goodness knows what else, and just be contented to who you are. Somebody asked me once, what's the best bit of advice you've ever given somebody? And I'm going to steal somebody's answer. It was an old lady, and she said, always keep a bit of you in here that you can go back to. Because everybody always wants to take a bit of you. Careers, education systems, people, friends, lovers, parents. Everybody wants a bit of you. For them, I have some pretty bad news. You will not be able to make me happy, whoever you are out there. And I can't make you happy. Happiness starts from within. And how are we going to find that if we're never going to have our own company? How can we live a true life if we don't really know who we are, even right at the end of it? So, here's the challenge. Be grateful for the things that you are. And wouldn't it be wonderful if we got up every single morning, we didn't drag yesterday's problems into today, and we tried to change the dynamic of the world? You just heard that right. Every person can change the world. Every person has the ability to change the lives of the people around them and the people around them. So why don't we do that every single day? And then we'll get through this easily. We'll get through it. Maybe we'll get COVID, maybe we've already had it, maybe we've lost loved ones, and it is an awful pandemic. But it's not the first time, and I'm sure it won't be the last. I see this as a test. That's it. There's nothing I can do about it. It's a test, and it's a test that I'll pass. So you look after yourselves out there, and I'm going to do more of these for you. And what will be better is I'm going to leave the email at the bottom of this film. Why don't you email me with some questions of your own? You send me some of the questions, things that you're struggling with, things that you want the answers to, And I'll do my best to do some research and give it some thought and see if I can give you an answer that's suitable enough for me to sit here in this oversized cardigan and get away with it. God bless you guys. You take it easy out there. And remember, everything you put in there stays there. It's a little bit like driving a car. Enjoy the journey. And sometimes you're on that journey and you can't even remember how you got to the destination. Life is just fair, unfair, cruel, beautiful, and lovely. And the moment we accept that, it starts getting a lot easier. Okay? Take it easy. Until next time, you take care.